Hello and welcome. This is Japan, and I have an interesting idea here for a tier list, and so we're gonna jump into it. I already know most of these characters. I'm not gonna know 100%, so we're gonna probably skip over a few of them. I just got a generic tier list for what I was planning, so yeah, we're with Marvel Rivals being such a big deal. We know what's coming next. DC's gonna make a clone of it. I mean, it kind of seems like one of those things where they go back and forth with different stuff over the past years. So thinking about that, honestly, isn't that crazy of an idea that it could happen. So we're going to make a DC version of this game and put it in here as the best like the best we can, because some characters I think it's a little hard to know if they're going to one be in the game. I think that's sometimes easier, and then obviously what they fall under, tank, DPS, support. I figured I'd just make it kind of the generic ones that these hero shooters have instead of doing anything too crazy with it. So let's see right off the bat where we're going with this stuff. So we got Batman. I think he's probably the easiest one to put in here so far. DPS for sure, because I mean, essentially he's like Moon Knight. Moon Knight's a DPS, so makes it kind of simple. I think Moon Knight fits that. So does Batman. I think DPS works great. Robin, I think, would be right in that same thing. Anybody that kind of like projectiles but can't probably take a hit like a regular human being, I think kind of puts it. So we'll put Batgirl up there too. I think all three should be in the game. I think it kind of gives them some variety. I don't think necessarily they need all three of them in the game right away, but I think it's one of those things that wouldn't be bad. Next up, we have Superman, the most tanky of all tanks. I mean, he is it's like just the tank of the universe of DC, so easily in the tank. Supergirl has similar powers. I think she could also possibly be in there just because there's a good shot like having some variety in the tank position is going to be a little bit more difficult. But I haven't gone through this entire list because I feel like with a lot of these DPS is pretty easy, but support and tank is going to be a little bit more difficult, and you have to think a little bit outside of the box. So next up is Crypto. I'll be honest, we probably should just wait on Crypto. I don't think he really brings anything too crazy to the game. I don't think he is necessary. Next up, we have Wonder Woman. Again, she has like a shield that she can use, so she would work really well in the tank. She has a lasso that she can pull people in like Roadhog's hook from Overwatch. So there's a lot of those abilities. I think that would work pretty well. These are some of the other people that are Amazonian. I'm going to put them down here. I think we should wait. You can necessarily put one of them in, but I don't think it's necessary right off the bat. Next up, we have Green Lantern. I think another tank because he can like physically make shields and barriers. I think would work really well. So tank is kind of easy. Then we got the purple pink lantern. I forget exactly what they do. I'm gonna have to probably put them in wait because off the top of my head I can't think of anything to necessarily put them another lantern. We'll put them back. Honestly, that's kind of more of my thing to not know exactly what lanterns go where and what abilities. But again, we're running out of really. I don't know how to do exactly what we're doing with support and stuff like that. So it's gonna be a little hard. And then we got Flash. He'd be a perfect duelist, like DPS. I don't know why I said duelist, but that he'd be able to jump in the back, attack people and move around pretty easily. I think we only need one speedster in the beginning of the game. Pretty easy to go there. Then we got Aquaman. He kind of has a Neymar vibe, so DPS would probably work pretty well. Then we have his wife. I'm pretty sure his wife has some type of like water abilities that they could possibly say that they're healing. I don't know. I think it'd be a stretch, but because we're kind of struggling for support, I think we could put her in there. And then we got Aqualad. I think would definitely be a good person in the game. So I think another DPS would probably work pretty well for him. Then we have Hawk Girl and Hawk Guy. Is Hawk Guy Hawkman? Hawkman? What is it? I actually don't know. I think one of them should be support, one should be tank. So I want to put Hawkman in there because of his. I think he has like that giant mace, and she kind of has like a smaller. I think they changed it to a sword. I think it used to be a mace, but I think in recent things, like even here, you kind of see a sword, which we can put in DPS. I mean, you can flip flop them or have them both as tank. It really doesn't matter. I just think that like if I remember from the comic books and like from the TV shows. Hawkman was a little bit slower and it kind of had like a bigger mace, so it kind of feels more tanky than Hot Girl, who could just zip out, zip in, and kind of feels like a dive hero support. Shazam, he's kind of a power heavy hitter type character. I think tank would work. I think he should definitely be in the game. Green Lantern, not Green Lantern, Green Arrow, DPS. He's Hawkeye, Hanzo, all of those characters all in one. Definitely is going to be in the game. I'm not 100% sure, but I'm pretty sure this is Canary. Um, Hmm. I'm not really sure. I think that Canary should be in the game, but I really don't know what to put her. I'm gonna leave her there for now. Then we got is Zatara? Zatara. I was about to say Zarina, which wouldn't fit either. I think her magic could possibly be on the healing side. I mean, I think DPS would honestly be the best place to put her, but I feel like we kind of need the space and we kind of need to use her in support, so we're gonna put her there. Next up, we have Manfane or Swamp Thane. I can't remember which one's which for which brand. It's Groot, so let's put him in the tank. Booster Gold, I think is kind of like DPS. He's got some powers like that. I'm gonna have to skip. I'm pretty sure is that Rick Flag. I don't know honestly because it's like I don't know exactly where all these characters are exactly from. So I'm gonna put him at the bottom. I'm not really sure. Blue Beetle, I think DPS would work pretty well. He could also possibly go in the tank. I honestly don't know who this is, so I'm gonna put her down there. Hawkeye, not Hawkeye. God damn it, Nightwing. I'm just like thinking so much to compare it to Marvel Rivals that I'm all of a sudden now um, putting it in there. Honestly, I don't think you need four members of the Batman family. We'll put it in weight as it could possibly go. Then we got Cyborg. I think Cyborg could possibly be big enough to be a tank. Beast Boy, I believe, would work pretty well with the DPS, maybe changing his abilities around. He could possibly be tank too if you want to like change his abilities or be like a flex or something. Um, what is it? Starfire kind of reminds me of either Scarlet Witch or Storm's playstyle, so I think she should definitely be in the DPS. Raven, honestly, I'm gonna go with her magic, even though it's like I'm gonna say like it's gonna be like a Moira thing where she can like pull damage into a healing pool or something to almost give like a dark magic energy to the rest of her team to heal them through empowerment. I have no clue, but I'm stretching it out to get another support in this game. Killer Bee, I personally think she would work really well in this game. I'm trying to think if we would have way too many DPS. I kind of want to make sure we don't fill up this entire thing. So I'm going to put on weight. I think she's like definitely a next up. Static Shock, I think, is a slightly different hero to put in there. So I'm going to put him in the DPS. If I'm going to lose, I'm going to use one more spot at least on that DPS. I think he'd be a good one. Um, Mr. Terrific. I think it should be a weight. This dude, I forget what his name is. I'd probably put him on a weight. He could possibly go in the tank, so I could move him up. I think we got Martian Manhunter. Um, I don't know. I mean, him and I forget her name could possibly be a way to make some type of healing by like movement, maybe pass through. I don't know. It's kind of a stretch because I think that is what this game struggles with a little bit would be healing. At least off the top of my head and what I have here, I think it's a little bit harder. Um, at least what I see. Obviously, I think there's a lot of characters here I barely know, so I'm probably gonna skip over. So, um, yeah. Next up, we have Peacemaker. I feel like Peacemaker is like the Punisher, the Soldier 76. I think he has to be in here, and how popular he is with him being portrayed by John Cena. I think he'd fit there. I'm not sure this guy. These guys are the new one. I think we'll skip over. Weasel would be somebody interesting to put in there. Um, I don't. He really has any abilities that would work really well in this. Joker kind of has to be in here as a DPS. Harley Quinn, I think, is another one that has to be in the game. It's just like the name value, and I think that'd be our last DPS slot. Clayface, they could easily use as a big tank. Captain Cold, I'd probably pass. Lex Luthor as a tank would work really well. This guy with the kryptonite heart could work. I'd probably say wait, but he should be down the line. Livewire, again, DPS probably, but we'll have to go. Lobo could be a good tank, like a good dive tank. So I'd say probably a chance to do it. Ares would definitely be somebody that they could put later on, but not anything they need to do. Cheetah, again, another character that could go. Sinestro could be another tank. I think that'd probably be our last tank up there. We don't want too many. Gorilla Grog could probably be a tank, so we'll probably put him on weight. Killer Manus would probably be another good DPS, so I think he should definitely be in the game. Black Adam, I think, would be a decent tank also. Not sure if I would put him in the base game because of how disastrous this movie was. Deathstroke, I think, would be one of those characters you have to put towards the top as being like a DLC DPS that would work pretty well. Jinx, I could see almost being a healer, but like I don't think there's quite enough, so I'd probably keep her off the roster for the time being. Blackfire, I don't think it's necessary, but would be pretty cool. And the rest of the characters I'm looking at, obviously other than Darkseid, I think needs to be up there. Brainiac could possibly be some type of healer. It's kind of a stretch. I think that was the problem with this game and a lot of the characters. I couldn't think of anything. And I think if there's more maybe complete DC tier list, there might be some other characters I'm missing that could work pretty well. I'm not 100% sure. I just kind of grabbed a random one because I had this idea and wanted to get the video out there to show you guys and see what you guys would think. And see, hey, do you think this might happen? I could possibly see it. Also, like, what is it? King Shark would be pretty cool in this game as a tank. I'm trying to think some other characters off the top of my head that I know are missing because there is quite a few missing. That's the problem with DC. It's such a huge asset, but I could definitely see it happening. So tell me what you guys think. And this has been Japan. Bye, guys.